This post is titled Mother's Birthday.
Phil was gracious enough to
Text
narrate
message,
this for me.
December 8th, 2020. The reason you cannot get a hold of me is because I've blocked all of your contact information. I'm going to be 30 this year, and only when you found out you're sick did you even attempt to have a meaningful relationship with me. 28 years of neglect. 28 years of no supportive, loving, nurturing mother. 28 years of never hearing I love you or receiving a hug. 12 years of an absent grandmother for my children. It's pretty sad that when I say my mom to my kids, they have no idea who you are. They know you because you were my brother's mom, and nothing more. When you began to reach out and attempt a relationship, I was hesitant but open to accepting what the relationship might be, even if it would never become the one I wanted. But then you pushed all of the blame and responsibility of my trauma onto me. You told me everything was all my fault, and I chose all of the terrible things that happened to me. You told me I chose to be born to an emotionally neglectful, dishonest mother, to a physically abusive, narcissistic, alcoholic drug head of a father, to be raped and to lose a baby, just to name a few. You completely washed your hands of any and all parts you played in my trauma, taking zero responsibility for the things you did and didn't do. You completely devalued my feelings. You told me I am the best I will ever be. And so, for my own mental health and my healing journey, I have cut off all forms of contact with you for as long as I need. Do not go through my brother or anyone else to contact me. October last year was the last time I allowed her to berate me and make me feel worthless. This text was sent to her after a phone call and a string of nasty messages she decided to send. It took her 2 months to realize she couldn't get a hold of me. The amount of time with which we've last talked isn't unusual. We would go almost an entire year without so much as a text. No phone calls to ask how I am or get up to date on the latest goings on in my life. No asking how our grandkids are. Complete radio silence. So many of my birthdays she had forgotten, yet I always remembered hers. The first time she forgot my birthday, I was 14, and then every single year after that until I turned 28. The days leading up to her birthday this year, I spent my time thinking about how I would feel when this day comes. I dreaded waking up because I was sure it would be tough. Birthdays are too important to me. It's one of the ways I show people I love that I am grateful they were born onto this planet, that I am grateful for them coming into my life. The muscle memory to reach out and wish her happy birthday is still there, but today isn't painful like I thought it would be. Today, I am drifting. It's just another day.
It is so surreal to hear those words still. I heard it for the first time this morning. He sent me the audio clip. And it's one thing to read what I have written and have my own narration. But then to have somebody else read it back to you and put heart into it like you did. I just almost don't even have any words.
Well, I appreciate the praise. I did want to note for chat as well that while I definitely appreciate your compliments on the read, it's also, I have to say, that's a hell of a script. And I think that the thing that I wanted to say first off about that before we went any further was I wanted to thank you first off for selecting that passage for me to read. And secondly, also to say to all of your viewers and to you that this is really what I think the power of group sessions are. And I won't call it group therapy, obviously, because, you know, this is in a clinical setting and we're not talking about doctors, that sort of thing. But this is why I'm so stoked that people like you choose to dedicate time to mental health, whether it be, you know, any day of the week, mental health Mondays, whatever it is. But this is the power that's experienced when you get people together. And the funny thing is that without going too far down the tangent, religious organizations do this stuff a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They try to claim that the emotions that you feel and the closure that you feel is a result of somehow finding God and that sort of thing. It's really not. It's more so the power of unity
It's the power of bringing together to see common views, to experience commonly felt emotions. Because let's be honest, our society is really shitty at dealing with emotion. We've had several millennia of human beings that do not understand exactly how fragile we are as creatures. And that is the real power about bringing people together like this and doing these types of things. And so I can't commend you enough, and appreciate the invite. I commend you for dedicating time to mental health streams, and allowing your chat to open up to you. These are powerful. The moments like this are what's necessary for people to help, for people to start getting better, to see a path forward. So
I agree. And as we're sitting here, kind of like going deep into my stuff, because I know that I don't want to like do my first mental health stream, then expect everybody to just come to me with all their things and spill their guts. I wanted to start the very first one off with something personal to me, um, to kind of pave the way, to let you all know I'm
yeah,
here and I've been through stuff and I have learned how to love myself through it and heal from most of it. Some of it, I don't know how far I am in the healing journey. It's a work in progress every single day. But I
hmm,
agree that it takes a community of like minded, kind, genuine. And as you were speaking, the phrase came to me, safety in numbers.
hmm,
And I think if we can create a space for people to come where they're not judged, where they can just let it all out, um, is beneficial to so many people.
yeah. There's a metaphor that I like to use for people who are attempting to find clarity and who are using group sessions of any kind to do it. Um, and I think it's something that we unfortunately have a tendency to get very wrong in society. Um, everybody, I hope everybody gets this metaphor, but all too often, especially in modern life, we have a tendency to refer to. I'll use an example. There's a term out there called safe space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. I agree that the idea of a safe space is important, but people get the wrong idea about what a safe space is supposed to do or supposed to be. All too often, we think of it as a person. Imagine a person who is injured, or imagine a person who has some kind of pain that they're going through, right?
Okay.
And imagine that there's a group of us who, there's let's say there's 15 of us, because you got 15, viewers in the room right now, right? So there's
Mm-hmm.
15 of us that are in a room together. And what we do is we interlock our hands and we circle around this person who's in pain. Okay. Most people think of group sessions or of um, safe spaces as being that. They think of it as a circle of protection, that we're supposed to shield them from the outside world. And while it is true that that is part of the process, that is not the process. That is the first phase of the process, because the idea is you circle around someone, you help them stand back up, and then all of us interlock hands and walk together to keep going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part about therapy, or the part about growth, that generally people in this day and age seem to forget. Because people, I say people, we collectively, I'm here because I am a proponent of mental health advocacy. And what it means to be an advocate is to help people move forward. It means to bring light to the issues that people are facing, so that we can correct the issues of the past, so that we can all grow and all mature and all move forward together. It doesn't stop with the pain. You know, and
Right.
that's why I have the saying that I do, where I say, pain in life is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
Suffering is optional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's really, really important that people remember that the getting you back to your feet is the first step, and then after that, you move forward. You all walk together, and eventually, somebody will stumble again. Somebody will have a problem. They'll fall, and you circle up again. You help them stand up, and then you start walking again. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm. That's a really great point.
Appreciate that.
Benda, some things in there just caught my attention. I have no words for your mom. She's a special kind of something.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, it's been an interesting road to travel. There's been a lot of things that I've had to just be able to be aware of in the beginning, and I think that is one of the hardest parts, is just being able to see what's happening and how it's affecting you, and how it it has affected you in the past, and how it is going to affect you in the future. And it just started this whole snowball of this is what's happening, and this is what's happening, and oh, that's interesting, this is what's happening. But it's been very liberating.
I'm glad.
And I think this thing specifically, this mother wound specifically, for myself, has been one of the most confidence building journeys I could have taken.
That's really cool.
And I never expected it to be, ever. But it, thinking back and looking back on it, the connection we have to our mothers specifically, because there's supposed to be such a bond there. When that bond doesn't form in the way the child needs, it sets off an entire chain reaction for so many self-confidence issues, sex issues, you know, like just the way we raise our children, emotional intelligence, like just all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Been very interesting to learn. Good
Yeah.
morning, my smoochie. Good morning. Welcome to Mental Health Monday.